Today, students, we are doing lesson 2.1 from the English Bal Bharati textbook for Standard 6, Clothesline by Charlotte Druitt Cole. The clothes hanging on a clothesline is a common sight all over the world, and we hardly give them a second thought. But the poetess Charlotte Druitt Cole has beautifully compared them to various creatures like birds, horses, and even witches. So come along, children. Let's read this beautiful poem and enjoy it. This video was made just for you. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe. First, I shall recite the poem and then I shall do the explanation. So while I read it, please follow this poem. The clothesline. Hand in hand, they dance in a row, hither and thither, and to and fro. Flip, flap, flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. Like restive horses, they caper and prance. Like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. Rounded in front, but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. One I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so wildly, till she was free. Then, leaving pegs and clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird, and no one can find her. I saw her glim like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. Nobody knows where she now can be, hid in a ditch or drowned in the sea. She was my handkerchief not long ago, but she'll never come back to my pocket, I know. By Charlotte Druitt Cole. Now I shall explain each stanza to you. The clothesline. Now, what do you mean by clothesline? Clothesline means the rope or the string where the clothes are put up to dry, the wet clothes, the clothes that have been washed, those clothes which are put to dry on the rope or the string, that is called the clothesline. The first stanza. Hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither and to and fro, flip, flap, flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. So, hand in hand, they dance in a row. So, here the poet is talking about the clothes that are hanging on the clothesline, and when they are put on the clothesline and they are attached to the peg, peg is the pin that holds the clothes, they look as if they are holding hands. And with the wind, when they start moving about, so the poetess is telling us that they look as if they are dancing and in a row is you form line, you form a queue, so they are also standing in a queue, that is one after the other or side by side. So here they are holding hands, they're dancing in a row, hither and thither, to and fro. What do you mean by hither thither? Hither thither means here and there, to and fro means up and down. So that is how they are moving. No, they move in all directions, this side, that side, up and down. Flip, flap, flop, and away they go. So when the clothes, are drying and they are moving on the clothesline because of the wind, what happens? You get that sound, isn't it? Flip, flap, flop. So flip, flap, flop, away they go. Away means that is how they are moving and making all that noise. And here the poetess is comparing it to fluttering creatures as white as snow. So, what is fluttering? Fluttering means flapping the wings. Okay, so flapping sound. So, fluttering creatures. So, who are the fluttering creatures? Are birds. And which birds is she comparing it to? As white as snow. So, all the birds that are very white. Our clothes also, most of the clothes are white, isn't it? Our towels, our bed sheets. So, she's comparing the clothes to the white birds that go fluttering about. So we see that the poetess Charlotte Druitt Cole is talking about the clothes hanging on the clothesline, and to her, they look as if they are holding hands, standing in a row, and dancing merrily. She compares them to the white birds that fly in the sky. The second stanza, like restive horses, they caper and prance, like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. Rounded in front, but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. So here the poetess is telling us that like restive horses, restive means restless. Horses are never stable. They keep moving about. So like restive horses, they caper and prance. What is caper? Caper means to leap, to skip about. So if you see how the horses move, they never walk. They gallop. So that is what the poet is describing the clothes to the horses which are which caper and prance. So prance also means to move with a high and springy steps. Springy means to jump about, to leap about. So like if you have seen the horses walking, they gallop, they don't walk. So just like that, the poetess feels that the clothes are also restless like the horses, and they are dancing and leaping. So caper and prance. Like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. So, witches, who are the witches? You find them in fairy tales. Those ugly women who wear black clothes with a conical black hat, and they are moving about in a broom, and what they do is they have magical powers which they use for their evil deeds, evil work that they do. So the poetess is now comparing the clothes to the witches. They widely dance. So these witches are wild, isn't it? They are not very good people. They act very, very badly, wildly they dance about, okay, and try to do evil things. So here the poetess is comparing to the evil witches, because when the clothes flutter and dance, they also in the wind, when the wind is blowing very hard, what happens? The clothes are flapping very, very hard, wild, very wild. So it's comparing just like the wild witches. Rounded in front but hollow behind. So rounded in front. So they form a round shape, and hollow. Hollow means the deep inside, isn't it? They form like a bowl. So rounded in front but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. So they're shivering, isn't it? Shivering is to shake. So they shake also, they skip also. So they are like just jumping about. So in the merry March wind, merry means happy. So here the month of March, and the wind blowing in the month of March is said to be happy. Now, why it is said to be happy? Because during the month of March, we see that the sun has come out, and everywhere it is bright, sunny, the flowers are very happy, the birds are flying about singing. So we say that the whole environment is very happy. So here the March wind is said to be merry, and along with the March wind, these clothes are also shivering and skipping. So that is what the poetess here says, that uh, uh, she compares the clothes hanging on the clothesline to restless horses at first, that are leaping and galloping with happiness. And as the clothes flutter on the clothesline, they form a bowl like shape that is rounded at the edges and hollow in the center. The poetess also feels that the clothes are shivering and skipping in the wind that is very happy during the month of March. The third stanza. One I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so widely till she was free. Then, leaving pegs and clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird, and no one can find her. So, here the poetess is saying that once she saw somebody dancing excitedly. Excited means full of happiness. One means someone. So, she saw someone dancing. So, who is she referring to? She's referring to the cloth. Okay, or one piece of cloth, or any one cloth. Okay, so once I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so wildly till she was free. So here she was struggling to get herself free from that clothesline. Why she was struggling? Because often we attach the clothes to the peg, isn't it? Pegs are those pins that we put. So she was attached. So she tried very, very hard, isn't it? We find that when the wind blows very hard, the clothes flutter so much, they look as if they're struggling to free themselves. So that is what the poetess is saying, that she saw one of the part of the clothes struggling so widely till she was free, then leaving pegs and clothesline behind her. So all the pegs that were put up on the clothesline as well as the clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird. So like a bird, the cloth flew and no one can find her now. Where she flew, nobody knows. Okay, so if you look at the picture over here, this is the cloth that flew away, and this is how the poetess is comparing to the birds. So isn't it? It is looking like a bird flying away. So here she flew like a bird and no one can find her. So here the poetess says that once she saw someone dance excitedly and with great struggle she freed herself. Then leaving the pegs and the clothesline, she flew like a bird so far that no one was able to follow her, and now no one can find her. Now let's understand the fourth stanza. I saw her glim like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. Nobody knows where she now can be, hid in a ditch or drowned in the sea. So, the poetess is telling us that she saw that piece of cloth glim like a sail in the sun. Glim means shine. Okay, like a sail. Sail is are the waves that make in the sea. Okay, so they were shining. Glim means shine in the like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. So it's saying that it was just making all this flipping, flapping sounds just for fun, flapping its wings, so just like the birds, flipping, flapping, and flopping, just having fun, and nobody knows where she now can be. So nobody knows where she has flown away. Okay, because you can't follow it, no, when a piece of cloth goes and it goes flying so far away. So nobody knows where she now can be, hid in a ditch. What is a ditch? Ditch is the part of the ground that is dug up so that the water can pass through. So at the side of the road or at the side of a farm or something, so they dig a ditch so that the water can water can pass through. So here the poetess is saying that nobody knows where this piece of cloth has gone. So she is thinking that it must be hiding in a ditch or it must have drowned in the sea. So she must have flown so far. This piece of cloth must have gone so far that she must have drowned in the sea. The fifth and the final stanza. She was my handkerchief not long ago, but she'll never come back to my pocket, I know. So here the poetess is telling us that what she was talking about. So she was talking about her handkerchief that was there with her long ago, but she'll never come back to my pocket. So the poetess is sure that this particular handkerchief will never come back. Isn't it? We also lose so many of our handkerchief and we hardly can find them once again. But we feel very, very sad that we have lost a handkerchief. In case we find it, we feel so happy that we have found a handkerchief, isn't it? But here, the poetess that has seen the handkerchief fly away and is very, very sure that it must have, it's not going to come back because the poetess is fearing that it must have hid in a ditch or drowned in the sea. And so, therefore, she feels that it is never going to come back to my pocket. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful poem by Charlotte Druitt Cole. To check your answers to all the textual questions and for the summary, meanings, other question answers, and for free worksheets, visit our website at www.jkacademypro.com. You'll get the link in the description box below. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe.